Hello everyone. Today we plan to go to a temple that's called Saligrama Temple near Udupi. And when I used to think about going a temple, before that, when I say temple, I just don't mean only temple. I mean mosque, church, gurudwara, everything, because I go everywhere. Anyway, we'll come to that later. But I used to always think this point about going to temple, because I used to think that everybody says God is everywhere. So if God is everywhere, why should we go to a temple, right? So finally I got the answer to all these doubts of mine by the person to whom I always go to, that is my dad. He's one knowledge ka bhandar according to me, and let's hear it from him only today as to why we should go to a temple or mosque or church or gurudwara if God is present everywhere. About visiting temples, obviously being a practicing Hindu, I go to a lot of temples, but I also go to a lot of churches in and around Mangalore. I've gone to churches in Goa. I've gone to a church in Delhi, that is the one which is near Khan Market, and I've gone to a few mosques, Ajmer Dargah. I've gone to Haji Ali in Mumbai. I've gone to Hazrat Nizamuddin in Delhi, and a lot of gurudwaras as well. Obviously, Harmandir Sahib, Golden Temple, Bangla Sahib, Rakhabganj Sahib, Sri Sahib, and many more. So the reason why I go to all these places is I believe it's all the same. There is nothing called different gods. There is just one power. Different people call that power by different names. There is that unique power which Hindus call as their Bhagwan, and then Muslims call as their Allah, Christians call as their Jesus, and Sikhs call as their Vaheguru, or so on and so forth. It is the same common power. This is my belief. And obviously, if it is one unique power which is called by different names, there is nothing like one superior to the other or one inferior to the other. It is like जैसे आप कहते हो, the sun is called by different names. सूरज भी same है, रवि भी same है, और आदित्य भी same है. Can you say that सूरज is better than Ravi or something like that? It doesn't make sense, right? It is the same thing that you are addressing to in a different way. So there is nothing like one god is superior to the other, and there is no point fighting over it. What I believe is that if we understand this basic concept that there is only one power which is just addressed by different names, most of our problems will end. And it is like we need to understand that He protects us. He doesn't need our protection. We don't need to protect Him. We don't need to do anything to safeguard Him. It is so funny when people get offended when somebody else passes some derogatory remark over the God. Don't think God at our level. He's beyond all that. If somebody calls the God whom I believe with some derogatory remarks or makes fun of Him, that is not going to affect Him. Come on, he's not like us. He's not like humans. Those things will not make any difference to God. The sooner we understand this, the better it is for us. And एक और चीज जो आपको हम सबको ये समझना है कि ये जो भी लड़ाई हो रही है, whatever battle is going on because of religion and stuff, you are not doing it. You are made to do it. आपसे ये करवाया जा रहा है, आप कर नहीं रहे हो. Because somebody else is getting benefit out of your fighting. This is the harsh truth. If two people fight, say for example, if Hindus and Muslims fight, actually the ones who are fighting both end up with destruction, and the third person sitting somewhere else is getting benefit out of it, and that is why he's instigating you to fight against one another. I just hope that we actually understand this and then live in a harmony. So I'm driving back, and on the way I took the brown bread. So I don't know if you are able to see this, but just a reminder from the last video, whenever you buy a brown bread, always make sure that it doesn't contain refined wheat flour written on it, because that is the way how they try to cheat you, because people are aware of the word maida, but many are not aware of the word refined wheat flour. So just make sure that you look at the ingredient and it doesn't contain refined wheat flour. The only difficult part of going out, especially when all of us go out, is leaving a Bruno alone at home. Many of you, if you have a pet, you may relate to this, because they feel very sad if we leave them and go.
बुरा लगता है भाई, आप लोग भी जानते हो यार.
He is going to make a very small face now. Yes, so I am about to reach home, and let's see if I'm right, if I'm guessing it right. My Bruno should be waiting for me at the gate. Chalo dekhte hai. He does usually, most of the time he knows this is the time I come home, and yes, I am right. Here is my Bruno waiting for me. Bruno? Come, Bruno. This is his routine, that he will get into the car when I come near the gate. Yes, come. Go inside. Yes. That is our usual routine. There he sits. You want to sit there only today? Or you'll come front? There's no place, Baba. You sit there. Okay? Bruno has got some friends. Bruno? Hi, Bruno. Bruno? Bruno? Who are they, your friends? Huh, Bruno? So I am ready. Wait. And where are other people? Are they ready?
I'm ready.
Yes. Okay. Chalo, let's go then. Okay, ready? Let's. Bruno is very dull because he has understood that all are leaving him and going. No, Bruno? Bruno? We'll go and come fast. Huh? Okay. Sit. Good boy, no? You sit. We'll come soon. Okay? Bruno? Bruno? This is his place for saying bye. Okay, bye, Bruno.
बुरा लगता है भाई, आप लोग भी जानते हो यार.
ये हमारी कार है और ये हमें और ये
अबे साले, अल्लाह माफ करे, बहुत मनुष्य लग रहे हो, मत करो, रहने दो, बहुत बुरे लग रहे हो. तौबा तौबा तौबा, थारा मूड खराब कर दिया.
She is about 70 km from Mangalore. Gurunarasimha temple Saligrama is dedicated to the lion-headed form of Vishnu, that is Narasimha. Yogananda Gurunarasimha is the chief deity over there, and the history of the temple dates back to almost say 8th century. So let's get to our question of the day. Let's ask our expert. If God is present everywhere, why should we go to a temple? Yes, off to the expert. Appa, ಹೇಳಿ.
ದೇವರು ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಕಡೆಯಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಎಂಬುದು.
रुको जरा, सबर करो.
What he means is the place becomes divine also because of the vibrations of saintly thoughts in the minds of devotees come to the temple. Now it is believed that just like the vibrations of sound, there are also vibrations of thoughts of people gathered in the area. Now, which will always be very positive at a place of worship. Now see, it is not mandatory to have a running shoe while running, but having one definitely helps, right? Similarly, it's not mandatory that you go to a temple to pray to God, but going to a temple regularly definitely does a lot good to your physical and mental health. In fact, another Gyani Purush, that is Sadhguru ji, also says something similar about visiting temples. Let's just hear what Sadhguru says about visiting temples.
The ancient temples in India If you're really talking about ancient temples, yes, the temples were built to a certain science called agama. You heard of agama? There are 5 basic parameters with which the temple was built. If the temple is built according to that, the size and shape of the temple, the size and shape of the parikrama, the size and shape of the garbhagriha, the sanctum, the size and shape of the idol, the mudra that the idol holds, the mantras that are used to consecrate this, if all these things are properly matched, it will create a tremendous field of energy. You need to understand, Indian temple is not a place of prayer. There is nobody leading a prayer in the Indian temple. The Hindu temples, there is nobody to lead your prayer. You go there and do what you want. Nobody telling you must sit down and pray and do this or that. Though now you started the request chit, paying 5 rupees and telling God what he should do, you started that recently. Otherwise, your culture told you if you go to the temple, they did not even tell you must pray, but they told you must sit there for some time. Is that so? Still exists in South India, in North it is gone. In South India, still families are aware that if you go to the temple, you must sit there for a while. Now you just touch your bottom and go away, touch your bottom to the floor and go away, or you sit there and discuss your neighbor or the cinema or something else. The idea was, if there is a strong field of energy, you simply sit there quietly and imbibe this. So the culture told you, first thing in the morning, you have a shower, go sit in the temple, then go out and do your business.
There's also saying that that place is quite special because there used to be elephants and lions living in harmony in that region, which is obviously contrary to the usual. And apparently Lord Ganesha, who is obviously the representative of elephant, came in the dream of one of the person called Bhattacharya and advised him to build a temple of Narasimha, that is the lion-headed form of Vishnu. And that is how this temple was built. The idol has Shankha or conch in one hand and a chakra or disc in another. It is seated in a yogic posture attributing to the name Yogananda Gurunarasimha. So on one side we have this temple and right opposite, quite far actually, so there we have a Hanuman temple. It is believed that the Ugra Drishti or Ugra Nazar of God is neutralized by the Hanuman. So this calming effect of Hanuman, who is right in front of Ugra Narasimha, is believed to protect the crops. In the past it was believed that the idol's face was towards the east and then all the crops got destroyed because of the Ugra Drishti of the god, and then one of the person got angry and apparently hit the idol, and that is why there is still a scar to this date. And then after that, probably because of that, the direction of the face changed from facing east to facing west now, and right in front of the god is the Hanuman temple. And even the idol of Hanuman is actually covered with sindura and butter, which are again supposed to cool down the effect of God's anger. And here we also have the photo of the biggest brand ambassador of the biggest brand. This is just to make all my friends from Delhi very jealous. Look at the prices here. Veg kurma 85, Matar Paneer 110, Paneer Palak 110, what not. And we reach home. Here is Buno. Buno! Buno! Okay. All are here. All four came back. Buno, ma. Ba. Buno, come. Buna, what is it? What are you doing? Buna?